Hello and welcome. Right, let's just set this going. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into a time. I wasn't going to show you me going down to the to take the lorry and that up to the top of the field, but I thought, well, yeah, no. Everyone will probably presume I'm just going to reset up to the top or something like that. I thought, so just show yourself going. I think I've got a good sort of way to go now, anyway. So I thought, let's just take this and the Lexian up to the thing, and we're going to go the way we found last, over the bridge. I'm just hoping it's bigger. Now, of course, the other thing is you can actually go down this road. It's a little bit longer. But it would be nice to see, can we get the Lexian across that bridge? Now, I would have thought it was made for that, really, because it's the back entrance, isn't it, really, to the farm. Yeah, it really does lead. Apart from, obviously, I sort of went along the field edge, which was a little naughty, but yeah, the most direct route for us to go. Although there is a path that leads that way, so to sort of suggest that it's not really unexpected that we might actually do that. Really, yeah, there is a path here which goes along the edge of the field. I presume we may have, no, yeah, we would have owned this. This would have been the grass field. I think that we probably did own. So anyway, yes, let's go into that time lapse and we'll see you guys and gals on the other side. how well we did. Yeah, the one thing I'm going to do, obviously we've been down here, we've seen this, we've harvested, I will be selling the field, but at least we did have the fun, and it is true, Dagwin is right, so much as we did see a lot of the map. So, but obviously I now wish to be like going back towards, we've got the straw to draw off, obviously I'm not going to sell it now, we would ruin all of our straw, we're going to grab the straw off, and obviously I'm not sure how to do it. Yeah, I'm really not. I'm not sure whether to grab the one of the AGI belt systems and stick that off on the ground and grab that and push it, as we have done many times, stick it into 2 trailers and just trailer it back, because it is a lot. We've got loose, it's going to be very tough, and then we could put a production down, we could use a production for the day, but for the realism sake of things, I'm like thinking, yeah, but you know what I mean, you could use the power productions. You could put something down, shift it across, sell it, lose a bit of value, and it is a game. We have also got to remember that. But obviously there is all that element of like going for realism, where you're trying to. Now, how much did we get? That's the interesting thing. That I'm really 20 tons. Not bad really. It was a horrible field. Obviously quite a bit of straw to get off, but yeah, I'm quite pleased with that really. What are we going to do with it? Now that is the point. On this map, what is the value of bread? Which is usually probably one of my boring staples that everyone think, oh, bread again. Yeah, it is so easy to do. It is worth 1777 at the top point of the year, so nearly £2,000. Bearing in mind, this is hard economy. That is a cracking price. It really is. That is a good price for a good sort of thing. So yeah, not a bad little thing. The good thing about oats is the fact that it's one of the few straws that actually produces more than actually it's on nearly every single thing. You gain extra flour from this. It is the best flour maker of all of the cereal crops. So yeah, sorghum being the second most best. So yeah, we could do that and then make some bread. Probably would go the Omatana Farm Factory, because it's so versatile. Not necessarily is it the best, but it can do lots and lots of things, including a dairy. So it's sort of like one of those productions that you can place, a bit like the All-in-One by the Law, which is why I heavily favoured it for a long time. But the Omatana Farm Factory also it's got lossless recipes where it produces pig food with the wasted elements, and then obviously you've got an income stream from that. So it's dearer, of course, but then again it is a farm factory, so a lot of the cycles are actually quite good as well. Not super duper, but they're good. It does a lot of things. So as that old saying goes, Jack, and I do realise this is not a Lexian, it's the Trion. I've got to get used to the new names of the classes. I don't have them very often, so yeah, my bad. I know the bigger ones are right. So yeah, I'm going to park this here. I'm not sure if this session is going to be quite long enough, but I'm happy to park here anyway. Obviously, if we go on, we would go on from this very point, and I think truthfully, from a new farmer start, we've about caught up with where a new farmer would start. Maybe slightly overtaken. We've got some fairly decent equipment, which is not bad from a start from scratch. Although, yeah, in all honesty, let's be totally honest, I owe all of this to Brummie Farmer, who really gave a start from scratch a break. Otherwise, we probably would just have the one tractor that I've been whinging about, which would be a bit of a... Now, I have done it with that tractor. I have. And we probably would have bought another couple of tractors by now. We'd have had some in the sales. So, but it would have been a bit of a struggle. We would have had that and a very bare bones, probably the 7 metre grass set and a windrow, a really small one, and either a cheap baler or and it would have been a struggle, because that would have been doing everything on itself, and I probably would, due to the equipment, not have gone the route that we've gone. Really, I probably wouldn't have done, because money-wise, yeah, I mean, we're blessed with stupendous equipment from the get-go, which is a massive, massive thanks to Brummie Farmer. Yeah, one of quite a few that recently have showed a lot of love to start from scratches. It really is nice to see, because I'm of two minds. The start from scratch in me says, yeah, but it's not a challenge the same. But then there's also the start from scratch stroke new farmer in me that says, yeah, but it's nice to have a break. You've still got that horrible thing where you've not got a lot of cash, and you've got productions. You've got to try to get an income stream on whatever your angle is, whatever you choose, or whether it's what kind of map it is, American, European, British, what crops are available, what can I do. You've got all of that going on, and yeah, and you've got to, like, so sometimes a bit of love from the map maker is really nice. I do love the fact as well that Brummie Farmer didn't destroy, we didn't face a slab, because I always think, I mean, yeah, the old farm countryside, I love that. I would love the, if you could buy the farmyard at a later date, why the destructive? I know it's always been done that way, but to me, start from scratch is the toughest challenge. And it is nice. A lot of people love to see the farmyard. I mean, I've got a lot of people who love the new farm start, because really, the one bad thing is that on a true start from scratch, it's tough, and if you're going to choose hard economy, it's very tough. So affording like sheds and stuff like that is, sometimes you don't actually get there at all. You've got real bare bones sheds, which then means people have got to put up with your farm's not fantastic. Yes, you get there in the end, but you just finish as you're just beginning to do well, because it's taken you 5 years to get there, and then you know, everyone's seen so many sessions, which is why I do realise a lot of people would like the new farmer start, because it does present its own challenges, really, if the map maker's not too generous with the equipment and leaves Fox Farms. I thought was one of the most balanced farm starts that I've ever seen, because you've got a couple of tractors, one sort of mid, one small and one quite big, and you've got very little of other than your harvester, I think we got a trailer, we got all of the bare bone basics, so we could crack on. No balers, nothing like that, no telehandlers. I liked that. You got given one, not for the map big field, but you got given one big field that was obviously full of crop on New Farmer Start, and we did do a New Farmer Start, and I enjoyed it because it was a challenge. I thought it was going to be, but the map worked with me. We worked with the map. We tried the new crop types. We were a real farmer. We didn't do productions. They didn't do too much until quite a long way in. So yeah, I'm of two minds really as to. I do love the challenge, but then it can take a while, which is why I usually go normal, rather than, because it doesn't stunt growth quite so much. But if you want to show people a tough start, the best tough start, then really hard economy is the way to go, and to sort of show that you've got a good enough grip of the productions that you can actually make it work. I wanted to challenge myself with this set of series. The very first new mini Brum, which I'm presenting in this set as well, but that one was on normal. I did do that on normal economy. Let's just stick this down to like 0.5 while we chat. Yeah, did stick that to normal, and it was then that I thought, I really want a challenge. I want to do an extreme challenge where we do start from scratch. Start from scratch is meant to be, not your chainsaws, not your one. We can all, anyone can do that. You've got to bought your land, so it's tough, but it's just as tough as like doing it from zilch when you've got absolutely nothing and all you do is contracts. I've done those starts. It's no different from the chainsaw. It's been done 1,000 times. Bottom line is, start from scratch is tough enough already. Do it as it's supposed to be. I mean, set yourself limits, so you can't have productions for a year. I've done all of those types of things. It's Milbert Hend, he does quite a few complicated scenarios where you've got to do this and like you've got to do so much of this, and you've got a list of things to work to. They're good as well. They are. And if people set me a challenge and there's names of challenges, I'd gladly have a go at doing any of those, really, as complicated or as complex as they are. But to be honest, I love, and I do like to try not to always do. I mean, there's some things, some of your baseline income streams you've got to do really to get yourself going. Otherwise, you just, I mean, arable farming's tough, and especially on hard economy, it's very tough. So to find a decent, I mean, oats is not a bad one, soy's not, but then you've got how little soy, and you've only got the fact that if you're a start from scratch, a true start from scratch, you're going to be lucky to buy any reasonable size field. If you do arable farming, you're going to have one crop, you're going to have massive costs. You'd be lucky to have a harvester. If you did, it'd be one of the worst harvesters in the game. That is a real challenge, don't get me wrong. Of course you could lease if you allow leasing on your particular Let's Play. So they've all got challenges and you can overcome. But that is the challenge of start from scratch, really. And it's so easy to make a silly, dreadful mistake that really costs you. And that is the beauty of start from scratch. It's trying to overcome those challenges. It's a lot of thinking to try to and also you get the curveballs that the game throws you where things don't work right, and a mod that you thought would do this doesn't do that, and it doesn't do that as well, and you've lost, like I did really on the production, the digestate went where I didn't expect it to go, and then you're like scratching your head, and also you're talking on the session, because if I looked more closely and I was just thinking about it and I wasn't talking to yourselves, I would have figured it out. But obviously you're chatting to you, and like you're not want to delve into menus for a long length of time. It's only in editing when you think, that's what's happened, it has gone into that production, and then you sort of think, yeah, well, I can deal with it. And it's dealing with those problems that really is fantastic. Finding mods like this patina and stuff like this, mods like this, fantastic. I mean, I think one of the biggest challenges I found with the start from scratch is actually finding equipment that is both reliable. Some of the cheaper mods are not always reliable, as I sort of said, and I'm not trying to have a go. That beautiful small tractor is good, but it does cause issues. It's sort of a little bit of a wild card that's not quite right, that does go with some bits of equipment not quite in the right way that you'd expect. So, but the trouble is, you're limited. So sometimes you've got to put up with equipment that's, I'm not going to say it's terrible. SR Vertex has done a cracking job. Very complex mod. And it may be that it is actually me that's not, but it doesn't, yeah, its gearbox ratio is not quite right. And it might be, the other thing is, it might be very true to that exact helmet. So it may be that I'm using an old bit of kit that really can't keep up with modern stuff, hence the factors and why it is as cheap as it is. So then, of course, you're setting yourself an equipment challenge. But if I was to buy some, I mean, there is one, thinking about it, again, I like to have a front loader because you can't often afford that as well. So there's the Fendt GT, but it's only 115 horsepower. It is not, I mean, it's not very powerful, but I mean, yeah, I suppose you could do it. It's certainly cheap enough. It's fast. So one thing I do like about the old Fendt GT was 19 miles an hour. You can stick the Pepe 3-point link on the front, although it has got that on the thing, but you can also use, as we have with the one we've used, it is versatile. It's got a versatility that's second to none, really, this has. And again, I keep forgetting about the Fendt because it doesn't go into the normal categories. But you can stick that on, so you can be really fantastic with your fertilising and liming. You can stick that on, and you can be really good at liquid fertilising and herbiciding. I don't like that by far. Yeah, it's the only implement I'm not very pleased with. But then again, you can use a proper mower on the back. Yeah, I don't. The only thing that I do use is that. Yeah, the Fendt actual. That itself, that is a cracking. I've never tried a normal one on this to see whether you could actually make use of the Banderanti, because it looks like the same kind of hitch, the connection. So yeah, again, I could go for that, but it's just 150 horsepower is a bit of a sweet spot, and if you can get closer to 180, that's why I always said the Mr. Noisy, as I call him. Which, yeah, you can see the Fiat Agri that I've got in. It's not the Fiat Agri by Pepe, which that is my favourite one, but it's just so noisy. You just can't have it. Yeah, the Fiat Agri, obviously this is the, you can do, I don't think you can have, yeah, you can do this again though. It's just too expensive. It is a beaut. It's the 26 miles an hour. It's got everything that has got. Obviously, if we go, it's, I mean, it's still not bad, 102,000, but for that I could buy a 240 horsepower one, but without a front loader. I think if you're going to have a jack of all trades, master of none, really, even this is good. But if I was going to pick one out and name one that if I'd got the money free, what would I go for? This has not got the front loader. It can have a front 3-point link. That is 41, so that is very good, but I don't think this has... No, you can have that, but you can't have a front loader. Still very reasonable, but then I can have lots of tractors with back and front 3-point link. What I find is really necessary is a front loader too. That's a good starting harvester by Mihail. I knew his name from somewhere that I really did know. That is a cracking tractor. One of the best for mowing and for baling. Very juicy on the, but again, probably very realistic. But these are good, but they do get expensive quickly. So you can go for the 150 horsepower, and it is 79,000. You can stick that on it. It's 80,000. So really, that's quite a go. You can also, in time, upgrade it to be quite a beast. Yeah, that's the max for another 49 grand. Really, 128. So you could have quite a beefy tractor in the end. But again, by that time you'd probably found things in the sales, and you'd probably keep it on its normal. The one I think is probably, if I'd got the cash, I would go for. That's a reasonable one, the Styromax. Again, probably by holes, which is why it's appeared on quite a few Let's Plays. This is good, the Torpedo, but only as a standard tractor. Can have the Pepe front 3-point, but again, it's got the. It's one of the best 170 horsepower tractors out there. It really is a beaut. These are good, but then they soon start to add thing when you start to upgrade them. The Field Boss, again, no front 3-point link. Must be in small tractors. It is in small tractors. It is. I mean, it comes in two forms: the Class or the Renault Ares. Now, I haven't got any Renault, so I stick the Renault version in because I think, well, it's a beaut. It is of all the tractors. I mean, the Zetra I've done because it's so cheap, and it's a cracking little tractor. I'm not just for that one thing. It's a good all-rounder, but again, its weight limits it. So if I was to pick one, literally, that is the best value, I mean, that the Agrostar really, yeah, actually, I always forget the Agrostar. It is, I mean, that Deutz, again, is only 82 horsepower, but I've used that as a starting one because it's so cheap and reasonable, and it's got front front loader too. But this is a good all-rounder, but it's a little limited on its horsepower. Yeah, 143 horsepower, but it's about there. You could use it for a while, and a lot of people have used that even in FS19. Frithgard he didn't like it, but he did use it. That's too slow, but it's a good one. Yeah, but I'm getting there, honest. Yeah, and I realise the way. Yeah, and this is the other one from Grimlock, which is the smaller version, which again is still 59,000 though. So yeah, it is somewhere. These are good, the Mahindras, but again, they're a little bit low on the horsepower for starting off, where you like think it's not quite going to cut it in certain situations. So 143 horsepower, that one is probably, but this is my favourite, really. This little beaut, its weight is reasonable. I'd go for that one. It's 194 horsepower. That takes this up to 80,000. You can go narrows as well. That's another important thing I always find, if you can go narrows. And I know you can, it's probably not that version, but there's one of these where you can go narrows, because I've had it, he says, unless they've changed it. Narrows, that's it, and they're nice looking narrows as well. So yeah, and then obviously the other thing, which I always think is very, very important, yeah, you can do that, and that as well. Yes, that makes this one of the most versatile tractors. But look at its price. By the time you've got up there, I could probably afford two 143 horsepower. But the difference between 194 and 143 is quite considerable. That's in the range where it can stretch quite up to about 240 horsepower. Weight's a little bit limited, but at that point it's weighs 7 tons. So with all that little lot on, it's a 7-ton tractor. That's not bad. So to be honest, if I was to pick one, it'd have to be that as my tractor of choice if I'd got 84,000 or it was ever in the sales. I don't think I've ever seen the Renault Ares in the sales, ever, period, which is a shame. But yeah, that it would be my choice. But there are quite a few choices you can see there. Love the Aber, but again, no front loader. And this is why another reason I love the 4x4 versions. I'd probably go for that one there. But yeah, again, 150 horsepower. The chipped version. It is so fantastic. But as I said, it has got its limitations. So yeah, that is where I'm going to leave it. Because otherwise I'm going to chew your ears off. Yeah, so that's where I'm going to leave this. I'm going to leave this here as one of those. Is this going to be the next British map? And I'm going to leave that to yourselves. Or do we go New Farmer Star or whatever? Otherwise it's just a small series just to show off Brummie Farmer's beautiful map. It is a nice map. I really do enjoy it. It's unique as well. I've got to be honest. It doesn't remind me of any other map. It's quite unique in its layout. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are always, you can't create as many. Oh, that floating tree is a little bit strange. I've not seen that one yet. Yeah, I mean, obviously things like that go on, don't they? They really do. But yeah, that's where I'm going to leave it. So all that remains to be said is thank you very much for joining me on this little journey, or big journey, depending upon yourselves. Really do love to hear from you on this series of extremes. I wished I could have done it under one umbrella, but being as I put shorts, and I did think about this myself, would have been complicated because it would have seen it as one set of series and it's lots of different maps, and I thought if you don't put them in order, it's going to be awkward because people are going to be like, ooh, you know, the beauty of a playlist is it does go in order, and I can arrange the order so that it's video 1, video 2, video 3. That's nice, but the thing is, obviously I wanted this lot all under one umbrella, which is why I'm loading them all up over the weekends in mass. Really, I wouldn't normally do that. I've been working on this for a number of weeks now. It's my sort of secret project. Yeah, so let me know what you think on all of these points. But all that remains to be said for me now is thank you very much for watching, and goodbye for now.